Hello, whiskey lovers, and welcome to another one of Mark's Whiskey Ramblings on this beautiful and rather hot summer's day. Some might even argue, Mark, it is way too warm to drink whiskey, but I say you are gravely mistaken. Every day is a day for whiskey. What I would like to try today is the Double Barrel Speyside Lowland by Douglas Laing. Now, Double Barrel's been around since 2008, and it was quite an innovative and daring release from Douglas Laing at the time. And as the name suggests, this is a blended malt of two different barrels, each of them a combination of different distilleries from different regions. In the past, for example, when the distillery names were still mentioned, I've tried the Ardbeg slash Aultmore, and I've also tried a Macallan slash Laphroaig, etc., etc. But in recent years, they have started working with the regions instead. Nowadays, there is a Speyside Lowland, this one. There is a Islay Highlands edition. Now, I'm trying, like I said, the Speyside Lowland edition. And of course, it is rather useless to try to divine which distilleries are in here. I mean, there's quite a few Speyside distilleries, right? There's a couple of that we can probably disregard. It's probably not going to be Macallan or... No, anyway, but Lowland distilleries as well. Is this going to be my favorite Auchentoshan? Is this going to be Glenkinchie? Is it going to be Bladnog or any of the other new Lowland distilleries? Nobody knows. So let's just keep it at this is Speyside and Lowland. All I was able to find out is that it is in fact containing a 8 years old malt and a 10 years old malt. I don't know which is which. Is Lowland 8? Is it 10? The Speyside? I do not know. What I do know is that this is bottled at 46% ABV, and that the color is, well, this is a pale gold. It's not pale gold. This is straw to white wine. This is very pale indeed. Nevertheless, the Double Barrel Speyside Lowland by Douglas Laing at 46% on the nose. Very soft. I get some hint of pickles. I kid you not. Some quince and dandelions, some breakfast cereals, a bit of lemon juice, a hint of farmhouse butter. Some late vanilla and traces of butterscotch appear, but it is quite pleasant without being grand. This is not a wow whiskey, but it is very pleasant, very approachable, rather easy maybe. Not dull. Do not mistake easy with dull. This is not dull at all. This is in fact quite lovely, right on the palate. That first sip has something very sugary with some honey and lemongrass, some wine gums in there, and that is then followed by a spiciness in the form of some pepper and cinnamon, a hint of Khalees, and again, it's quite pleasant without being grand. This is just a very approachable and very fair and honest blended malt on the finish. Medium long, and in that medium length finish, I get some vanilla and honey. The citrus takes center stage, and it's pleasant without being, well, you know what I mean. It's not a grand whiskey. It doesn't pretend to be either. This is a very approachable blended malt. This is affordable and very well balanced indeed. And now again, it would be quite presumptuous and even a bit silly to try and pinpoint the distilleries. But if I had to guess, if you would put a gun to my head and said, Mark, I need you to, I would dare say this is Glenbergie and Auchentoshan. But that's obviously completely unfounded. This is something I just pull out of my head, from the top of my head. I have absolutely no idea, but I did kind of like get this Toshan vibe with the citrusy notes, but could be mistaken. And Glenbergie obviously is one of those big Speyside distilleries that produces for Ballantines predominantly. But again, There's 45 distilleries in Speyside. Nowadays there's like 10 or 12 in Lowland. I have absolutely no idea what this vatting actually is. What I do know is that this is the double barrel Speyside and Lowland and 46%, and it is quite a lovely and affordable whiskey indeed. One more note before I let you go. I do think that the previous packaging, it was a more elegant bottle in my opinion. This one is rather, I find this rather crude and in your face and rather bulky and while the previous releases they were in a more elegant bottle. But that's of course my very personal opinion, and beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So let's just leave it at that. The double barrel Speyside and Lowland from Douglas Laing at 46% ABV. Quite a lovely, balanced, blended malt. And that's all for this Whiskey Rambling, and I hope to see you at one of Mark's Whiskey Ramblings real soon. And until then, may the malt be with you. Bye-bye.